Hi guys, it's Mary Kathleen Waters. Hope everyone's doing really well. Happy Sunday. Sorry for the late notice of actually coming into Sunday Feels. It's been a very big weekend and actually a very big week energetically wise for everybody. And it looks like that Earth Mother is actually blowing out the collywobbles as well. There's massive storms that are coming outside my house. Hey Skylar, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Karen, how you doing? Hope you had a nice weekend. It's been blustery here. What's it like down south, or the southeast, I should say? It's been a really interesting few weeks. I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for asking, sweet. There's just been so much that's been going on, and I really wanted to have a chat with everybody. It's been manifesting for a long time, and I've been up and down as to what and how much I'm permitted to actually offer for you guys. So I've been doing lots of meditation and really sitting inside myself just to see where it actually progresses. Hey Sue, how are you? Hope you had a nice weekend and all your family's really well. Oh, hey Sarah, you're in Darwin. Nice and warm there. It's blustering a gale here.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh,
could you please repeat it?
Oh, hello Siri. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
Oh, Siri wanted to join in and say hello at Darwin as well. Hi Nat, how you going? I don't recall your face before, or your name, so welcome to the community of Mary Kathleen Waters. Now, as I said a little bit earlier, I'm actually just wanted to have a chat. There's just been a few things that have been going on energetically wise, spiritually, with all our guides, even the guardian angels are stepping in, but also our galactic friends have also stepped in. I've got a Facebook user, and I would say that it's Roz. How are you, Roz? G'day to you too. Yeah, I'll just have a quick chat first, Skylar, and then I can do a few quick readings as well. Tonight will be fairly short. Energetically, as I said, it has been a really big ride for me over the last few weeks, and I've had to really nurture myself and make sure that I'm in a good place and a strong place, because my role as a shamanic healer is quite intense at times, or intense, not just at times. I'm on 24/7, and I just been writing and doing a number of different things over the last past. And I just thought I'd share some of those things as well. I'm just going to quickly mute for a moment. If you can hear the alarm of the oven, I don't think my daughter can hear it. I won't be a moment. Sorry about that. Okay, and Michelle's here. Hey, beautiful. Okay, So one of the things, I might just start from what actually happened last night. So a lot of you know that I have access to the Akashic Records. And this massive vault just slammed totally shut last night, and it was enormous, and it rattled my brain to a massive, like, really shook me, and just rocked me to my core. And when I woke up, and seeing the writings that were on the walls, so I actually can see, it's quite an interesting thing. It's like a projector, and all these writings come out, and it was like, what on earth is actually going on here? Because energetically is how I actually read them. And obviously I see what's being there, but my comprehension is on a spiritual level, not on the writing type level. And sometimes it comes in as graphics as well. And then, the spirituality of the interpretation can be quite big. Now, what's actually happened is I've been told that the lines have been crossed, okay, and that there is a changing of the guard, and the galactic beings aren't going to stand back any longer. If you believe it or not, it is up to you. One of the things is that they're saying that we need to do something, like we need to change the world, because at the moment, if we actually allow the destruction that's starting to occur, and that's on the physical side of things, as well as the emotional and spiritual side, and like that, the destruction that we can actually create on Earth Mother can potentially ruin the whole universe. It's not just our world that we're ruining. And they're asking us, it's time for us to make a stand. That this is a war of love, okay? It is not a time to actually, start the fights, etc. But what they're actually said to me is that we need to stand for our own rights and the choices that we make. So we need to actually take ownership of whatever choice we do. All right, whether it's a positive or a negative, all right, you have to own what that is and start making more informed decisions, not being guided by somebody else whispering in your ear, okay? With the Akashic Records, as you know, it's every thought, word, action, step that we actually put into Earth Mother gets written and gets recorded, okay? And I've been given quite a few notes. I'm shaking. It's just so important. So I do apologize. But what they're saying, I'm just going to go into and start reading. So if it's verbatim, I do apologize, because usually it's reading through, but this is months of stuff that's been coming through. From the very core of our beings, we all had the same knowledge. We knew the difference of what should and what was. Why have we forgotten our knowledge? What is it a choice? Or did we understand why? And what about the consequences? Okay, so these are all starting to come up, okay? And it's just prudent that we start looking inside ourselves and start looking. So they're saying, close your eyes and feel. Just be truthful and scan and honestly feel. We've all become so numb and so lack of resilience that we're like the truth is what it is, okay? And we need to start going inside and having a look at what we need to do. And then these are the things, so these are the choices. There is no judgment on me. I do unconditional love. It's up to you what you would like to do, but we have to start taking responsibility for who we are and what we are, okay? So my challenge today is to love all of you and for who you are, which I've just already said. Every nook and cranny, the absolutely fantastic parts and the ones that are, that gives us the opportunity to make changes and fine tune who we are. Even positive can be amended as well. Today is a new start for you, and we just have to look at all aspects. Okay, and they may mean that there is no change, that you don't feel that you need to change. All right, and that's okay. That's okay for you. And just remember that no one has the right to tell you who you are and who you should be. And that is the most important thing. And it just, watching the fear in so many people, but they're actually not making a difference in their own life and making the choices that they want to have. And, it's time for us, instead of just following and being led by whoever it is, what is it that we need to do for ourselves? Because remember, the most important thing is that if we actually can love ourselves and we can hold ourselves in our own source of truth, and we can actually send unconditional love out to every single person, every insect, the waterways, earth, everything, we can actually make a difference. And having our galactic beings actually come forward today and step forward, and all I'm seeing at the moment, it's almost like that they're actually holding guard. All right, so they're actually willing to stand behind each and every one of you to assist you, to help you. So not only will you have your inner strength, you're going to have your guards standing forward. You've got the galactic beings standing forward, and they're all ready and willing to assist you guys. All right. And the thing is that, the stand for who I am and making a change and making a difference and sending it out and making peace. And it's the making peace and making a difference that's going to help us and for us to actually help Earth Mother. I hope that makes a lot of sense. But it's just something that I felt that it was really dear to my heart. I know that quite a few of you have dropped off because I've probably ranted. It's not a rant. It was actually a message from Great Spirit. Now I'm just going to, I hope you can hear me because it's hammering down now. Okay, yes, dinner is ready, Michelle. Jordan, I'm just cooking some rice and we're having some lark for dinner tonight. Thanks, Michelle. And she's saying hugs and breathe. Yeah. Just let me know, what we'll do is I'll just, let's reflect on it and just talk about it if you'd like to talk about it. If you want to, we can actually even do a group meditation where we can actually do it as a Skype. And just do a quick half an hour or something like that where we can actually all be together if you want to do that as well, and just do a small meditation. And I could just do it like a drumming circle so I can actually do the healing and we can actually channel at the same time. If people are interested in that, we can actually do that. Okay. So I don't know who's actually dropped off. So just let me know. Are you still here, Skylar? If you are, just let me know and I'll do a quick reading for you. Hey, Alison, how you doing? Okay. Aha, here we go. Skylar's here. Right. The sounding of the drum, like there was just like this, as soon as your name actually, you said yes, you just like this thunderclap just went bang. All right. Like the clearing of your energy, like the aura that you actually had. Originally it was actually shifting slightly. So you're actually with auras, because we've got so many layers, and some of them were actually blurring in lines. And what had actually happened was that as that thunderstruck came through, this bolt of light energy permeated all the way through you. And I don't know if you felt that energy shift, but I'm feeling exceptionally hot. and they actually assisted you with clearing some of the blockages that you actually had with your chakra system, as well as getting a little bit more definition. Now, your first layer of aura is quite closed up, okay? So it's really important to make sure that you do maybe even change some of your meditation techniques if you still if you do meditate. But there's certain things like, making sure that you actually do clear chakras on a regular basis and have a look at your auras and doing the cleansing on that as well. Holding yourself tight and being really, really guarded actually brings your aura in, and it can actually help you suffocate. And sometimes our breathing actually can be labored, and we're wondering why, I'm not sick and my breathing's labored. And it's like, okay, something's not right, because our aura is an extension of who we are. And if we're actually holding everything so tight, we can actually start doing different ways and different methodologies of how we actually try and breathe. And one of those things for you is really like your breathing. So it's really important when you actually have these little hints, okay, that you actually need to sit down and focus, okay? I will just let everybody know who I am. Where am I? Just need to, where am I? Let's just get back out of that. All right. So if you have never met me before, that's where you can go and introduce other loved ones as well, okay? And also how amazing this community is. I'd love to see the community grow. Now, I am a shamanic healer, so I do healings and also readings. Most of the time, they are actually joined together. So one of the things is every single psychic medium is a little bit different. And so for myself, it tends to be, hello, Bindi, that it's about the healing and actually getting to the sources of the truth. And once you've actually got the source of the truth, then you can actually start getting more of the readings and, able to open up yourself so that you actually can do a number of different things as well. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so if you want to contact me, you're very welcome to message me, and that is my number. Okay. Oh, Michelle's partner saw a nighttime rainbow, but I couldn't see it. Wow, that's amazing. So that is just really spectacular and special. It's actually almost like a galactic shower. So that is one really amazing confirmation for you, Michelle, as well as to how much you've shifted up and shifting up. Okay. The thing is for you as well, my darling heart, is that you are starting to rewrite some of those records that we talked about, that, we have the right to actually take ourselves back. Okay, so past, present, and future of Akashic records, we can take it, because sometimes, and there are some people that are not of a positive and do things with ill intent, and they can write your record on your behalf and put you into the future, bring you back to the past or to the ever-present of now, and then have their way and make these differences. And it can actually do a number of different things. And that's some of the things that our galactic beings are saying, is that enough's enough. They've closed the vault, and they're actually not permitting, because there's enough of us now that are actually revocating and saying that they've got no right, that I stand in my own truth and you have no right to take what's not yours. So we need to continue to do that. And I'm just wondering if Spirit's actually saying, if I change some of the words slightly of the stand who I am, format, that we actually start doing that on a regular basis again, and we're doing it for the whole of the universe and for Earth Mother as it stands, and to gift it out to people and make sure that people actually start utilizing it, because it's the power of the word. It's the power of our heart and our thought process as well. Okay, it's who we are and who we stand for that's going to make the difference. Oh, that's amazing. That's so cute. Okay. And Sue's just sent a love heart. I'm seeing someone who loves the water, and almost like a small boat or something like that they float, and they like to meditate or have meditated, or a version of, like, you know, men's version of meditating is fishing. Is that somebody's relative that has popped in to say hello? If it's for you, just yell out. I'm getting told that sometimes it gets fallen on deaf ears. Does that make sense to anybody? Who's really frustrating sometimes, and they just, you know, they're like a silent warrior? Okay. Just send me a message and let me know. I can feel someone knows. Who is it? If you don't want to pop in, that's okay. Okay. So I don't know whether that, because they've only just popped in, so it's not somebody who. Okay. That's really interesting, because usually I don't actually channel anyone of a mortal being without their permission. Okay. And Michelle's saying he's selective in his hearing. That's so cute. Okay. Michelle, is he near you at the moment? Only because, like, I'm just really surprised that someone's actually tapped in. Okay. That's making sense, because so it's his grandfather that actually has popped in to say hello. Okay. That's okay. It was like, because I was a little bit confused that, like, so his grandfather's actually popped in to say hello. So if he wants to come and sit with you, he's very welcome to, or you can just read, like, he can watch this again. Okay. I'm just getting this, you know, like this heart palpitation, and it's just going 100 miles an hour. And what's actually happening is that they're wanting to say, like, that there's something that they actually really, really want to say, and they're not quite sure how to say it. Was there a tiff or something like that amongst the family dynamics, and, like, Granddad just wasn't quite understanding what the whole dynamics was and why it was actually being not working the way that they actually thought that it should, or he thought it should be. When he's ascended, he's actually saying he's actually stood back and had a look and really reflected as to what was actually going on, which is quite an unusual and unique technique in the spiritual world. And one of the things can you just let me know if you can see me now? Just put a thumbs up or something like that, if you don't mind. Yay, thanks, Michelle. All right, someone was not happy on a spiritual level, okay? It's so when I was actually talking about the changing of the guard, and like the slamming of the vault, etc. And one of the things is that, you know, being verbal about it can actually ruffle quite a few feathers on the spiritual level as well. So just remember that I am protected. You guys are protected as well. I would never say anything that would keep you unsafe. But it was really quite interesting that Michelle, your grandfather figure, when he actually was talking, and he said there was quite a bit of a feud, and then all of a sudden it was like bang, and what he was actually doing was actually coming in and doing a form of a protection for you guys as well, just to know that he's actually here to support you 190% of what is going on as well. So that is just amazing. Like, how much unconditional love is there is just, yeah, I'm just feeling really quite honored, and that, you know, you have got so much protection out there. So Mum's actually just saying she's sitting at the table waiting for the cup of tea, and she's patting your hand, sweet. So just let you know that she's with you as well. Good. Thanks, Nat. So Bindi is getting a little bit old, and she just loves the energy in here. And she just loves it so much. And she loves when I'm doing the purification. So, and then all of a sudden, if I actually start doing the drumming, she just sort of sits there and just feels a vibration, and as the energy expands, she actually moves through the house to be at the end of the vibration. So when I'm doing, because I've got 2 drums, as you can see, one is a slightly higher pitch, so it is dependent on what I'm doing for the purification, and also the larger drum. So yeah, it's really quite interesting. She's so cute. Oh, really? Oh, she's always there, but she was just like wanting to pat your hand. So that's amazing, isn't it? And yes, it was pretty freaky that all of that just happened at that moment in time. So I'm really not sure what everybody got. The energy has just totally cleared in here. So the purifications that have been going on since I actually started this morning and doing the meditation, the energy was quite heavy. And saying that last piece of the message has totally changed the dynamics in my space as well. It almost feels like that I'm actually in a void. I don't know how to describe it. The air is very light. It's very pure, and it's cold. Okay, so what's happened is that Spirit's actually channeling at the moment with me, and I've got 3 galactic beings that have actually popped in to say hello to us all, and to say welcome. One of them is exceptionally tall, and the reason why it's so cold is because from where they actually come from, like their planet is quite cold, and they actually have a natural cold tendency around them. So that's really quite interesting because I've not met them before. Oh, wow. What a night. This is just incredible. Okay. Okay, thanks, Nat. Just want to look at your photo. Nat, you've actually, oh, what have I done there? Thanks, Sue. I'm back. You've got a galactic being with you, and it's in the form of a blue orb, and they've actually been with you for a little while, but they've actually now starting to step forward, and you're going to see it a little bit more. It's quite like if you sit in your own space, okay, and hold your own, okay, and start meditating, and you'll actually start finding that you'll be able to see it yourself. And it's almost like a fairy, okay? They're absolutely stunning, and it's just pure of heart. There's a place in your bedroom that they actually really like to go to and feel at peace. They're saying it's a little bit out of disarray at the moment, and they're asking you if you would actually mind just reorganizing your space, and it will actually help you to sleep as well. Okay. All right. So it's very, very quiet here tonight. Just really quick, short, sharp, shiny. I think the message was really loud and clear, and it was really quite pertinent. Okay. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? I'm actually in pretty much the same situation as you, not with my dad. So I'm really sorry to hear, and it is breaking your heart. Okay. One of the things that's important for you, Nicole, is to make sure that you actually stay inside your own truth and stay strong. I'm not sure if you're a member of who I stand for, I am community, but there's a couple of meditations that are in the guide section that are complementary to members. I have been a little bit silent on there, but as I've just let everybody know tonight, that the last few months have been enormous with the directions that I'm actually having from Spirit and the Akashic Records, and also the galactic community. So things have been quite massive. The most important thing, Nicole, is that you need to be healthy in yourself, and you need to actually start healing yourself and not take on everybody else's sadness. There's a fine line between being sympathetic and empathetic, darling. All right. At the moment, being sympathetic means that you're actually taking on everybody. All right. You're taking on a massive load, and it is tough, and it does break your heart. All right. Because it's not just your energy and your grief that you're taking on everybody else's around you. All right. And it's not conducive, and it's not healthy for you. And it doesn't give the other people the opportunity as well to do the grieving. What there is, if you would actually like to go into here and hit the thing with your email address, it should automatically populate a couple of grounding exercises and techniques that are really relevant for yourself. Like, it doesn't mean that being a spiritual healer doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to cure all, but I think that if it's okay with you, Sue, I always keep going back to you, and I do apologize if that's not right. But Sue, we assisted together as a community. Sue, his mum ascended a few weeks ago, and also her sister-in-law. And as a community, and doing this particular type of grounding exercise and the light exercise as well, it really made a difference and made life comfortable for mum. And it also made life comfortable for Sue as well. So going through the massive mountains and, really trying to struggle through it all, it just assists to be able to cope and to be able to do what's right. And it gives you the chance to heal, okay? And it gives you the chance to actually be with Dad and spend the time with him in the right way, because and making that comfortable for himself as well. So you can actually send that purest crystalline white light full of love in every single direction. You can actually do it with intention for Dad. You can do it for intention. I always do it for myself. Okay, self-love. I do it for all other members as well. And, even for myself, I have a very interesting family dynamics. So I always, with unconditional love, and it's not with the intention for me to actually, take anything from them, but so that they actually know that I am there, and I am actually, I do love them, and I do that energetically. Okay. To the extent that I actually went to the hospital the other day, and it was mum actually even remembered who I am. So even though that there has been a family, I won't even go into it, but the dynamics are very different and unique. And I've done massive amounts of healing on that, but also I actually do this, and I walked in, and it was almost like it was, yesterday that we actually had a conversation. So it can change things, and it can actually make a difference of what our coping mechanisms are as well. Thank you, Sue. I got the nod just as I said, so I hope you don't mind. Wow. Sue's just put up here, tonight at the start you had me worried. I thought you weren't going to do our community group no more. Cherish you and appreciate you, what you do for us all. Thank you so much, Sue. we will be doing more in the community group. And like, it's just a matter of trying to work out exactly, what I need to do, how I need to go about it. We've got the Sunday Lives for the greater community. I'm trying to work out, do we do another one just for I Stand for Who I Am, so that we can actually all be together and grow and nurture as one in that side of things as well. Yeah, obviously Sunday nights is, oh my gosh, look at that. That is the energy in my room. As I said, it's just gone so cold in here with the galactic being standing by me. Can you see the energy and the electricity? Look at it go. It's getting bigger and bigger. I don't know if you can see it. So sometimes, that confirmation for people to be able to see that, what I feel, see, hear, and touch, and sometimes even taste. Sometimes people have that, is it actually right? Like, where am I getting all this information from? So it's just a confirmation for someone who said that, thought that things weren't quite right. Okay. It is amazing, isn't it? So I've also got, I'm just going to go back here to Taylor. Taylor, I've got a really an iron taste and sensation in my mouth. Something's going on, and it's really important to make sure that you actually look at what your diet is. There's something. How often do you like cleanse your house? And that's not saying that you're dirty. I'm meaning, like, on a spiritual level, are you saging, or are you actually, what is it that you're actually doing to actually clear your space and making sure that that is a space unit as well? There seems to be some people that actually come into your abode tend to have something attached to them. There's a couple of things that actually keep coming in, and you're not quite sure what's going on, and you're feeling a little bit unsettled, and I know that it's a terrible word, but I was about to say jagged, and then I saw that your last name was Jagged, but it's like, it's just all over the shop, and and you thinking, and I'm even getting like the lounge room, like, what's going on in your lounge room? It's like, what's the deal, Banana Peel? Like, why have you got, there's this spiraling that's going on. And like, this space really needs to be cleared, and it needs to be cleansed. And it's really important to make sure that you actually look after yourself and be true to yourself as well. All right. Get into the community, start getting hold of those couple of meditations that are there, because one of them is actually, as I said, was to send out the crystalline white light. The other one is actually cleansing the internals of your body, okay, and your whole being. And I think you really need to do that. Get yourself out there. Go and get yourself some sage, etc. If you have issues with trying to clear the space by yourself, I do house clearings and land clearings as well. All right. There's a number of different variables that I do as well. So it is what is needed for you at that very moment in time. Some people, it might come in and it's like, that they're wanting a specific thing, and then something else can actually happen, and it just goes totally right field. Yeah, they don't actually know about being on a live, do they? It's really quite interesting as well, Michelle, because the boundaries are very different, because of the way that they actually have the capabilities. You know how I've often talked about vibration, and the vibration of, how it rises, and as we actually rise our vibration, things actually tend to be a little bit different. And like tonight, as I'm actually moving my hands, which is probably one of the reasons why I've been a little bit AWOL over the last 3 months, Sue, is that while I've actually been moving my hands tonight, it's actually going like, and really in slow motion, and it's just going like this. It's just been like, but you know, that Steve Majors or whatever it was, the $6 Million Man, where they go do, 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 do. So it's like trying to get my vibration, like obviously my body used to it, as well as, you know, things actually shift and change, but also having been given a couple of other gifts and trying, you know, adjusting to mortal life as well as my spiritual life. And, you know, it can take its toll, and I've been really, really tired as well. Okay. Sue's asking, Michelle, you originally from Whyalla, as she lives in Whyalla. Actually, you two and energetically have a beautiful connection, don't you? Okay. And Taylor said, wow, I will. Good. Okay. I can't stop laughing at that. It's so funny. Hey, Alison. Okay. Okay. And Taylor's actually saying, I tend to stay in my room. So she is going to get it all organized. So that's awesome. Okay. And Michelle is saying to Sue, her Uncle Doug did. So maybe that's where you've got that connection. But obviously having that community here as well, and like ongoing into the group. But I do apologize that I have been AWOL on that. And I will make amends, and we'll start looking at different possibilities in that sort of thing as well. Okay, back to Alison. Something's happened. Oh, bugger. It's frozen. Can someone do a thumbs up if I'm actually back again? I should be back now. All right. Spirits, because of the energy shift and the change, it's actually playing with my internet. I do apologize for all of that. Welcome to my world of not actually having, I'm not allowed, I can't wear watches. I actually explode them. What else happens to me? I obviously, you know that I know everything. So, you know, which makes it really quite strange. You know, people go, how do you know that? And it's like, and that's not reading that person. It's actually for myself. All right. So when I know something's going to happen at work, I already know, and I prepare for it. As an example, is probably more what I should be actually saying. Like, not that I would, yeah, as I said, I don't tap into other people's energy. It's not my thing. Like, without their permission, I just don't do it. And if someone actually taps me, and sometimes spirit or one of your guides might tap me on the shoulder, and I'll be walking down the street and they'll go, say something. It's not my place. I don't say it. Okay. You know, it's not for me to go up to someone and say, hey, dude, you're not well. You need to go to the doctor. I just don't do it. All right. And that has happened once before. So, and it's like, okay, but I can't, you know, I have to be ethically strong. Okay. Now, let's get back, now that we're all, I've now got green again. So, Alison, there's a few, yeah, okay, as soon as I say your name energetically, I'm getting like a baseball bat. I don't know what on earth is going on or what's actually happened in your past lives, but there's been times that things have been absolute shit. You know, and sometimes it like, you know, as we know, we can bring things from past lives. And you're wondering, you know, why does that always happen to me? And, you know, why are these sorts of things occurring? Now, we can change them. And one of the things that you can actually do is energetically change your thought process as well. Start looking at the way, and we all think that we're really positive and think things in a positive manner or a positive way, but we all let it slip. You know, the biggest one is knowing my luck, all right? And people turn it into a negative connotation and we don't realize. Have a look at the way that you're actually wording things, all right? Stop putting yourself down. Stop, you know, if someone says, you know, you're really beautiful, which you are, and you've got a lovely energy, like, don't brush it. Take the honor for what it is and what you deserve, because you can, and you'll find that your confidence will start increasing as well, because you are a pure soul. There has been some bit of crap that's been going on, but you can shift it and you can move through it. All right. Watch your diet. Okay, it's really important to make sure that you get as many nutrients as possible. And like making sure that, you know, you really wash your fruits and your vegetables, and, you know, you do like get the best quality produce, as in, you know, meats, fish, chicken. I am not one of these people that turn around and tell everybody that they must just eat vegetables. The most important thing that for myself is, like, even for my family, I always get everything ethically. Like, my girlfriend is a farmer. She actually goes with every single animal and makes sure that as ethically as possible that they actually, you know, are ascended in the right way. Okay, so it's what we actually ingest. But the most important thing is to know that even with if it's just vegetables that you eat, or with the chicken or the beef and the, you know, the pork or whatever, is we need to make sure that we're actually grateful for every single time that we actually touch that and say thank you. Because sometimes the best chefs, when they've got a horrible attitude and they don't feel like doing something, it tastes horrible. All right. And what's actually happening is that we're imparting the energy that's going into that food. So one of the things is we need to actually start looking at how we can actually get rid of that ions that's in my mouth, and like, or in your mouth, and, you know, a bit of a detox. And it's a detox of what you're ingesting on like, you know, the mentally as well, like, you know, what your thought process is, as well as what you're actually ingesting into your body as well. Okay. Where are we at? It's almost like a frozen, back, not frozen, back, good again, back, frozen. Thumbs up, Karen. All right. Okay, I'm not sure who you are. Could you just let me know your name? There are a couple of Facebook users, because what happens is that I'm not sure why. My page is ticked, but I'm not sure why the group is not working. So I'll have to investigate that one. I'm very, very sorry. Okay. So Nicole's saying that her brother's here helping Dad pass. All right. Just remember that, Nicole, you actually need to make sure that you actually stay strong. Spirit is still making sure that you do what's right for you and the best for you. All right. Your brother's there, but he leans on you perhaps a little bit. All right. So just think about that. It is a really hard time. All right. And you're an amazing woman. Don't ever forget that. Sue Michelle saying Doug Trelevin, he's passed away now. That name rings a bell. I'm going to have to think on that one, Mish. Jules. Hey. All right. Isn't that interesting? Like, why all of a sudden that you're actually not here, Julie? Like, why is it that you've actually blended into the background? That happened a couple of weeks ago for you as well. Julie, it's really important, sweetheart. Stand your ground. Like, keep yourself grounded. I just started to cross my knees. Like, you know, I'm sitting in the chair, crossing my legs, like, you know, having a bit of a chill. But that's actually not conducive for me, and it's not safe either, not being grounded. So make sure that you actually get yourself all sorted, get yourself grounded, get back to having those 2-minute showers at night when you get back, like, you know, to clear your energy and clear your space, and make sure that your aura, you know, is clean, because there is a couple of spots in your aura that and I know that we've done this before, is that they keep there's a couple of black spots. One is actually in your second layer this time, and you've got one in your fifth. All right. So it's really important to make sure that you actually look at, you know, start looking at your heart space. I think that's one of the things. And also start looking after yourself, okay? Because I know that you are one of the most unselfish people, and family comes first. But if you go down, who's going to look after them, sweetheart? Okay. And the baseball term really does explain how my head feels at times. Yeah. Like, really look at that. What's going on for you, sweet, in relation to your dietary. Okay. Yeah, we are all connected, Michelle. You're absolutely right. Oh, okay. And Leanne Winston's on. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, how are you anyway? How did Whyalla go? Did you have fun, like, with Rosie? My whole roster has changed at the moment, and I haven't actually been able to come in because I've been leaving home at 6:45 in the morning, and I'm getting home at about 8 o'clock at night. So I'm missing you and Roz, and like then trying to scroll down and try and find it to do the replay. So I do apologize that I've been a little bit AWOL on that. And there's lots going on the spiritual side of things, which I'm sure you're very aware of. And I'm sure that we need to sit down and have a big cup of coffee. Now, Sue has put up here for Nicole. Nicole, you get the inner strength to help you through the difficult time when you are going a loved one's final day. When you get the inner strength to help you through the difficult time when you are going the loved one's final days. Mary's grounding exercises helped me when recently my family ends their lives. So thanks, Sue. That's a really nice confirmation. And you know what? I've never met Sue, and I would drop everything for her. She is an amazing person, and that's what this community is all about. Oh, that's an absolute pleasure, Jules. And Leanne had lots of fun. And it's good to see you too. And yeah, there's lots going on at the moment. Spirit actually asked me to, it's been going on for quite a while, but I finally was given permission to actually let things know what's actually happening spiritually out there at the moment. So that was a very powerful beginning of tonight. Okay. Now it is, I've just been here for over an hour. It looks like I've actually, 2 of the galactic beings have left. There's still 1 behind, but you can see that my hair's starting to settle now. Leanne, you missed it when the galactic beings came in to say hello. My hair actually stood out to about here, like it was just incredible, and very powerful. And I don't know if you're actually seeing the electric lights that are actually flashing through my room at the moment, but the energy is very, very strong. And it was lovely for you to come back in again as well, Sarah. I haven't seen you for ages. I'm glad you're having a good holiday. Okay, and yeah, like there's lots. Obviously, with the energies, some of it actually did freeze as well. It's been a very interesting show, but we know what that's all about. So that's it for me tonight. If you want to make an appointment, please don't hesitate to either message under here. I'm still trying to work out why my Calendly is not working properly. And the other one as well, you're very welcome to message me that way also. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this community. You're an amazing group of people, and never forget to always stand for who you are and be the best that you can be. You take care. Bye for now.